Weinkreis. Ihr habt alle drauf gewartet und jetzt sind wir wieder da, weil es ist Dienstagabend, 20 Uhr. Kilian?
Ja, 20 Uhr. Nee, noch nicht ganz, aber wir fangen trotzdem schon mal an. Es ist zwar noch keiner da, aber wenn ihr uns hören könnt, einfach mal einen Daumen hoch, dann wissen wir, dass wir weiterreden können.
Dass dieses Mal der Ton da ist.
Genau.
Ja, genau. Wäre nicht schlecht.
Ja.
Ja.
Heute geht's nach Frankreich.
Nach Burgund.
Ja, ins Burgund.
Côtes de Beaune, also an der Côtes de Beaune, nochmal so ein Teilbereich, beziehungsweise ist eigentlich drüber, das ist so eine regionale Appellation und wunderbar, Outdoor Fashion kann uns gut hören, prima, der Axel Leute auch und Thomas Höfner auch, prima, vielen Dank. Also wir sind zu hören und wir haben vorhin dem Pablo gesagt, er soll uns bitte keinen Videoanruf machen, damit ihr uns auch weiterhin hören könnt. So, jetzt sind schon ganz viele von euch online und jetzt kommt natürlich eine ganz wichtige Botschaft von uns, weil ihr seht uns hier in diesen wunderbaren Sweatshirts. Und zwar, das sind sehr universelle Sweatshirts, also mit so einer Flasche, mit so einem Bild von Michel Tolmer. Und es ist für jeden Weinliebhaber ist was dabei. Also normalerweise Burgunderflasche, Rieslingflasche, Champagnerflasche.
Jura? Bordeaux?
Alles, genau, alles dabei. Kostet nur 40 Euro. Und als T-Shirt gibt es das auch, kostet nur 30 Euro. Schaut mal, ein wunderbares Stück, limitiert. Und warum preisen wir das so an? Jetzt ist allerdings, hat das einen sehr, sehr ernsthaften Hintergrund. Wie ihr vielleicht wisst, und da ist leider der Pablo auch sehr betroffen, hat in Frankreich eine Serie von unglaublichen Frösten gegeben und die Winzer dort leiden sehr und das war natürlich leider nicht das erste Mal dieses Jahr, sondern das ist wirklich auch von mehreren Jahren hintereinander jetzt gewesen und da geht es einigen sehr, sehr schlecht. Ja. Und wir haben gesagt, als Weinhändler haben wir nicht nur die Aufgabe, Wein zu verticken, sondern wir müssen auch unseren Freunden helfen. Und deswegen haben wir jetzt diese T-Shirts aufgelegt, zusammen mit dem Michel Tolmer, dem wir sehr danken. Und was?
Ja, da war schon eine Frage.
XXL, ja, haben wir gerade nachbestellt. Ein paar XXLs, nicht so viele, aber kannst du bestellen, ja.
Genau.
Und ja, genau. Also es gibt diese Shirts, die ganzen der ganze Profit von den Shirts geht an eine Organisation, heißt Vendange Solidaire. Und die kümmert sich eben um diese Winzer, die vom Frost geschädigt sind, Hagel geschädigt sind und so weiter und so fort. Ihr könnt auch spenden bei uns und es gibt auch noch so ein Probierpaket, das Frostpaket,
genau.
Wie die T-Shirts und Sweatshirts teurer als normal und auch da die ganzen, also der komplette Gewinn geht komplett an diese Organisation. Also Leute, helft mit, dass wir diese Winzer ein bisschen unterstützen.
Ja.
Ja.
Und wie ihr seht, Solidarität ist sexy.
Wow. Ja. Der Kilian spricht von sich selbst.
Wieso so eine Champagnerflasche hat doch auch was.
Ja, ich bin wieder auf Normalflasche, nicht mehr auf Magnum wie vorhin. Ja. So Leute, also jetzt haben wir gequatscht. Jetzt habt ihr eine lange Zeit, euch diese T-Shirts anzugucken. Die sind bei uns online zu kaufen oder im Laden, wie auch immer ihr wollt. Bio-Qualität.
Genau,
alles, ja.
Bio-Baumwolle, Fairtrade.
Ja, genau. So, jetzt probieren wir.
Sehr gut.
Zack. Côtes de Beaune Blanc. Kilian, was sind das für Rebsorten? Côtes de Beaune Blanc?
Also es sollte zu 100% Chardonnay sein, obwohl auch Aligoté erlaubt wäre.
Für Côtes de Beaune Blanc weiß ich, glaube ich nicht, aber Pinot Blanc und Pinot Gris ist da erlaubt.
Da schon wieder was gelernt.
Und da gibt's in den Hautes Côtes ziemlich viel Pinot Blanc und zwar sehr, sehr interessante Pinots. Die meisten sind das ist ein Klon, der kommt aus dem Weinberg von Henri Gouge. 30er Jahren in New Saint-Georges mal entdeckt worden. Und zwar war das eine Direktmutation vom Pinot Noir zurück zum Pinot Blanc. Das heißt also, da waren ein paar Triebe, wo es komplett weiße Trauben gab. Und die hatte der Gouge damals vermehrt. Und das sind diese ganzen Pinot Blancs, die man da jetzt kriegen kann. Also super Pinot Blancs.
Krass.
Ja. Aber hier haben wir einen reinen Chardonnay aus dem ganz südlichen Teil der Hautes Côtes, ne? Also eigentlich aus Marange.
Ja, das schließt schon fast an die Côtes Chalonnais an, oder?
Ja. Ja, es geht so ein bisschen in so ein Seitental Richtung Zentralmassiv hoch. Also es ist ein bisschen von der Côtes Chalonnais weg und eher eine kühle Gegend auch, weil da kommt es natürlich dann kühl runter vom Zentralmassiv. Le Creusot und so weiter ist da, ja. So, also, probieren wir mal.
Schon eine sehr, sehr reife Nase. Ich finde, es geht fast in Richtung Quitte, also wirklich die schön reifen gelben Früchte.
Karamell, ne?
Ja.
Ist halt 2018 sehr reiches Jahr, ne? Sehr sonnig, kraftvoll. Aber jetzt nicht breit, ne?
Nee, überhaupt nicht.
So ein bisschen reife Haselnuss.
Eine super Textur. Ganz cremig und fast sowas wie ein ganz leichtes Tannin, was hinten raus ein bisschen griffig ist.
Immer noch eine schöne Säure, so ein bisschen zitronig. Ne?
Ja.
Tolle Sache, ne? Rundum guter Burgunder. Und ihr wisst ja, Burgunder stehen ja im Ruf und das ist ja natürlich nicht unbegründet, sehr teuer zu sein. Meistens ist es so, aber ist ja auch unser Steckenpferd, immer Weine zu finden und Winzer zu finden. Die findet man natürlich immer so ein bisschen in diesen Gebieten, die nicht ganz so im Brennpunkt sind, die eben interessante Qualitäten zu günstigen Preis anbieten. Und was schön ist, der hat 12,5 Volumenprozent. Ne?
Wow.
Echt klasse. Ne?
Für 2018
natürlich. Ja, super. So, ihr seid wahrscheinlich auch schon kräftig am Probieren und der Pablo Chevrot sitzt in den Startlöchern und den holen wir jetzt mal dazu. Also Pablo, wo bist du? Schauen wir mal, wo er ist. So. Und in der Zwischenzeit trinken wir jetzt einfach mal.
Hat Spaß. Viel Spaß.
Klasse, ja. So eine leicht buttrige Soße, so ein schönes Kalbsragout oder so, das wäre super.
Boah, lecker.
Good evening, Pablo.
Good evening, Ben. Good evening, Kilian.
How are you today?
I'm fine. So we are starting preparation of the new season, and
Yes.
so we are in the starting blocks.
Yes, but you won't have much grapes this year, will you?
For the moment, we expect a small harvest because of the frost.
Yes.
And but the year is very late, so we will now we can say we won't harvest in August.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty sure,
Yes.
which is good. We are happy with that to make to harvest in more at the end of September, probably on the last decade of September.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know now with global warming. It can be so tricky and going so slow then so fast. It will depend on too much things. But with the frost, we already use one joker. And now we have to expect a good blooming and no hail but
Yes.
who knows? Maybe at the end it could be not so bad.
Yes.
But, we don't know.
Yes.
At the moment,
But yes. Yes, please.
I'll let you continue.
Yes, but you told us when we made our test that last night again you had a frost. Not only last week, but last night again.
Yes. Last night it was much more localized frost, but it was in part of the vine where we didn't have any damage. It was the late part, the usually cold part, which are normally more sensitive to frost, and yes, we have little more damage and little less barrels.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's life of agriculture and winemaker, and now we have to integrate that. So it's hard today for me, I must admit.
Yes.
But, tomorrow it will be another day, and we will go back in the vine and try to do our best, like always.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we'll drink a glass for that. So that's you don't have any wine now?
Yes, I will open one bottle.
Ah, you haven't
I
opened
didn't
it.
know
So
you have already begun.
of course. Well, we're here for the fun as well. So have you seen our nice shirts that we sell in favor of? We made them with Michel Tolmer.
Yes, I know very well Michel.
Yes, and we sell them, and
you see the
yes,
alligator.
yes, of course, yeah. That's one of his designs as well.
Michel Tolmer.
Yeah, yes, and so we will sell them in favor of the wine growers who are suffering from the frost.
Yes.
So all the profits will go to France.
Thank you for helping us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
I'm okay because I have some background. I have some stocks and my family estate since a long time, so we are ready for this hard year. But some small new winemaker who are just beginnings, it could be very tricky that kind of year for a start. So
yes, but that's exactly where the money goes. That's exactly where the money goes. We give the money to an organization which is called Vendange Solidaire, and their aim is to support these producers who are in business for no longer than 7 years.
Okay.
Small producers, and so they will benefit from that.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I have plenty of heart.
Yes. So Pablo, yes. Well, we're tasting Côtes de Beaune today, but you're producing in different appellations. But I think maybe we start to talk about Côtes de Beaune. Can you explain us the idea of the Hautes Côtes, because there's Hautes Côtes of Nuit as well.
Okay, so in the Burgundy you have the pyramid of the appellation. So there is 2% of Grand Cru, and there is about 20% of Premier Cru, maybe 30% of village wine. So, and you have 50% of Bourgogne, appellation regional appellation Bourgogne. And in the Bourgogne, the Haute Côte would be the top level of the Bourgogne. So roughly, in my, maybe you will not find that in books, but there is 5 important things to make wine. So it's the altitude, the exposition, the slope, the soil, and the underground, what we could say the geology.
Yes.
And for the village and Premier Cru, all these 5 characters are good or very good or very, very good. So when you have these 5 characters, very good, you hold the name of the village. And if there is one which is not good, it will be Haute Côtes de Beaune. So Haute Côtes de Beaune, Haute Côtes de Nuit. And if there is 2 which are not good, it will be only Bourgogne. And after only 2 good, it will be Côtes Bourguignon. And
Yes, that's
only
new.
1 good, there will be no vine. So for our part, so it's everything is good. Exposition, altitude, the soil is very good, and the slope are very good. But it's the geology is not from Jurassic, and to be a village of Burgundy, of Côtes de Beaune or Côtes de Nuit, or even other village. In Côtes de Beaune there is few vine on Triassic, and Pouilly-Fissé few vine on granite, which is not Jurassic. But in Côtes de Beaune and Côtes de Nuit, you have to be Jurassic. So here we are, one of the part of the vine is on the Triassic soil, so it's older than Jurassic.
Yes.
And so with different characters.
Yeah.
How different is it from? What is the difference from Jurassic and Triassic soil?
So the big difference is so the Jurassic, the chemistry of soil is dominated by calcium. So and calcium will produce limestone and will give some special taste to the wine. And the Trias, so Trias is dominated by magnesium. So it's close from calcium, but it will give different properties to the wine, to the soil, and the wine will be different in type of expression, aroma, and also saltiness and minerality. So here we have in the wine some characters of saltiness, of magnesium in the soil, which is not bad also. If we were in Alsace, or if we were in different places in France, it could be with the exposition altitude a very good cru. But in Burgundy, Triassic soil are not considered the best for the expression of the Burgundy type.
Yeah.
But we can make beautiful wine.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow, we are learning a lot tonight. Wow.
So the other place we have some Chardonnay of very good quality on Triassic soil, and it's not so far. It's Jura.
Yes.
So it's in front of Burgundy, on the other side of the Saône River, so bottomland fields, and so in Jura you have this Triassic soil with Chardonnay, which are really famous for the Chardonnay in Jura.
Yeah.
There was already a question. Björn asks, the cellar you have is more than 200 years old. What are the difficulties when you work with an old structure like that?
Sometimes, so you have to, so this house have been built to make wine. So it's not really a problem. Just it's a old house, so you have to know it. You have to protect it, and also to save it, and also pay attention of the small things or big things, but to the structure of the house. But this house is built to support tons of grapes. So
okay. So that's perfect.
It's quite yes, solid, and the cellars are very good hygrometry. We don't need temperature control. We don't need control of humidity, which is good. But the only one thing is, for example, I would like to grow wine in bigger barrels, or like in food, because I love the balance, and I think it's very a good thing for with the new balance with the climate changing we have, to work with bigger volumes. But I can't do it in the whole cellar. Because it's everything is sized for for the Burgundy barrel, which is 228 liters, and you can grow bigger barrels.
Yes.
Because it's too tiny.
It's too small. Yeah.
Is it sometimes?
So, to do that, so we had a renovation of the ancient winery to put bigger barrels of 10 to 15 hectoliters. We call them foudre, and so we will start. We start last year to have some foudre, and there will be on this cuvée in 2020 already one foudre.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it will grow and grow and grow with the years.
Yeah. Superb. And well, your winery is in a region. It's not actually a village. Les Maranges, or yes, you say as well, Les Maranges.
Yes.
So it's really a very special place in Burgundy. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes. So we say Les Maranges because there is three villages on the appellation Marange. So in the past time until 1988, it was three micro appellations of the Côtes de Beaune, so Cheilly-les-Maranges, Dedise-les-Maranges, and Champigny-les-Maranges. And in 1988, we made a fusion because there was no obvious reason of separating, and so after the fusion we reached 200 hectares, which is starting to be good for communication. It's not big. For example, our neighbor Fontenay is twice bigger, so
Okay.
it's more than 500. But we have the luck to have 80 hectares of premier cru out of 200 hectares. So it's a big rate, much bigger than Meursault, for example.
Yes.
In terms of premier cru compared to the global size of the appellation. And so we are at the end of the Côtes de Beaune. So we finish with South Exposition, and because it's the end, that means it's a place with lots of changing of landscape, because so I told you the geology stopped and changed here, the Jurassic stopped here, and so it creates beautiful landscape. I really encourage you to come and visit.
Yes, and you have nice apartments you're renting.
Yes, also yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have two like gîtes, or you can find on our website all the information if you want to spend a week in Burgundy. It's a beautiful place. You can go, of course, for the wine, but we have also in Burgundy now developed a lot of cycling tourism. Personally, I love tourism with cycling, because it's a very good way to visit. So it could be roads, it could be mountain bikes, it could be more on the countryside, and there is already lots of itinerary now ready for cycling. Whatever the level, whatever the thing you want to do, but you can go from the vine from Marange to Dijon or other places.
Yes.
And also it's very good for rock climbing, if you like that. We have plenty of cliffs, and also, of course, for the food. And,
yes, of course. Yeah.
But we have to wait 2 more months to be really good for we expect the opening of the restaurant starting slowly, step by step, on the middle of June. So.
Okay.
But our cooking chef really miss us.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we miss them too. Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yes, and now in Marange, it's an appellation for white and red, isn't it? For Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. So
in Marange there is only 15 hectares of Chardonnay out of now I don't have the last statistic, but maybe we'll reach 20. So 10% of this place is more dedicated to Pinot Noir.
To Pinot
Okay.
Noir, yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I always think that the Pinot Noir from Marange, they're very distinctive. They're very special, aren't they?
Yes, yes. So we have on the village, so there is 7 different Premier Cru. So all the Premier Cru have their distinctive characteristic, but I would say that if there is something is common is the fruit. It's always a bright red fruit, could be a little spicy, but globally we have very nice fruit. Fontenay, for example, will be more floral or mineral, but yes, the red fruit is very always present in the cuvée of Marange. And for the Chardonnay, there is 2 different historical places, one in Premier Cru, one in village, which make very different wines. But also with lots of they have interest, and we have old vine in this part, grown for a long time, and so Chardonnay have a small place, but the place is good also.
It's very good, yes. And I always had the impression that the Pinot Noirs from Marange are very well structured, and they have quite a bit of tannin, I think. So I always thought that they're very, very different to the Centenay wines, which are really side by side, but it's totally different.
In Marange we have the 2 bigger Premier Cru, La Fussière and Clos Rousseau. So La Fussière is 35 hectares, and Clos Rousseau is 25 hectares, made really structured wine. So it's a big part of the appellation, the heart of the appellation. But on around this part, you can also some very fine wines. So like I would say even in the Chambol-Médinier, for example, you have in the head of very fine wine, but there is few places in the structured wine. So in all the appellation, you have a large variety of type, a large variety of Pinot Noir is good for that because it can give you lots of different identity, and so in Marange you can find a good range of identity, but yes, with structure, with a good fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super interesting. There's another question. Charlotte wants to know if you take part in the Hospice de Beaune auction.
I used to. I did that in the last time. It was in 2011. But yes, it was not my cup of tea. And today we don't buy grapes. We don't buy wine. We live with our grapes and our wines, and I think it's important. I'm an agriculturist, and I want to live with my own production. Mm-hmm. And the auction, so I really trust in organic, and I think the quality of the vine growing, what you could do in the details of the soil. Biology of the soil, with a lively soil and structure to what you are doing and try to improve it. I think it's very important for the quality, and it's very hard when you buy fruits or wine, like in the auction, to control that. And that's why I stopped doing the auction. But it was fun, apart. But finally, I have more fun with growing my grapes and my wines.
Okay. And you were talking about restaurants before.
Yes.
If you were in a restaurant and had this wine in your glass, what would be the dish you would have on the plate?
So, as you can taste, so it's not so woody. So there is just 5% new because Burgundy, and you want little oakiness, but in this wine, I didn't want too much oakiness, and I want so there is a clean, very clean and bright fruit, yes, pears aroma, and it's very salty. So I really love it with shells. So could be oysters, but oysters I really prefer aligoté with fresh shells, but it will be more cooked shells. So like Saint-Jacques, or also just it's not a very yes, a very top level wine, but he has a simplicity. So I will go with simple food. So like if you like spaghetti vongole or
Good idea.
and also for the Burgundy things, it's like a shell and a cooked shell. It's the snails.
Yes.
Well, sorry for people who don't know that, but so
with a lot of
snails
garlic and parsley.
Compared to seashells, they are the minerality is more earthy, and so with this wine, it's always very good with escargot de Bourgogne with garlic. It's a garlic sauce, garlic butter, and I really love it with garlic.
Yum.
Escargot, and also with cheese is not bad. So it could be also a preparation with cooked cheese.
So many things actually.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Yes, but
it's not sweet at all. It's not too oaky. So seafood will be always a good choice.
yeah.
And I really love the 18, so it's 18 vintage, because for the red we have a massive vintage, very structured, lots of color, very spicy nose, but for the white we made a very balanced and classical vintage in 18, and so we don't feel at all it was the second hotter year of we ever had in Burgundy.
Yes.
So the first one was 2003, and 2008 was the second one. But the big difference between 2003 and 2018 is the vine didn't suffer of a lack of water, and which is very more good, which is better for the white. So Burgundy is really a big vintage for me in Burgundy for the white wines.
Now there are so many questions. Björn wants to know if it's more and more common for people to convert to organic viticulture in Bourgogne.
Now in Côte d'Or and Côte de Beaune, if you say Côte de Beaune, Côte de Nuit, aujourd'hui, today 20% of the vine are organic certified.
Okay,
so
that's good.
One fifth.
That's a lot.
It's not bad. And if you take the whole Burgundy, it would be twice less, so 10%. So we are little under than Alsace, which is I think the best in France, which is nearly 15. But so when I start organic wine growing, so in the 2000 years, so there was a big progression. After we had very difficult years in terms of growing in the 2010 year, so 12 and yes, also 16 were very hard for mildew. So there was a break in the progression because so the people who go in organic are yes, maybe the more technical. They feel they can go, and so now since 2 years there is a big progression again. So
Okay.
it's in progression for different reasons, but so now there is lots of organic certification. It's improving a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure also from the market for organic.
I think it's maybe the main one of the not, I don't know if it's the main, but I think it's an important impression of the market. Yes.
Yeah.
Which I follow.
Yes. Then the next question was, were you badly affected by the frosts this year?
Yes, so our early places have been very affected because we have like a small heat stroke on the early March, and the vine feel the winter was finished, but it wasn't. And so after we have so the buds began to grow and began to be sensitive, and so we have some frost in the parts which usually never frost. For example, we have a big damage in the fusière, Orange premier cru la fusière, red and white, and there was not any damage of frost since at least 70 years.
Wow.
So even in 2016, which was a big year of frost in Burgundy, there was not any bud which was damaged by frost in the fusière. So it's a very healthy place. And fusière is very damaged because it's hot place. Usually you have 2-3 more degrees than the other places. And so the vine grow even bigger, even earlier. With the small heat stroke we had, and so yes, it's very damaged for the Chardonnay and early places. And my other appellation of I have 100% of damage is Centenay Blanc, Village and Premier Cru.
Okay.
So, and the other places, it's not so. It could be there is damage in all the vine, from 10 to 50%.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but 50% of damage doesn't mean you will have a 50% smaller crop. But that means it will be harder to manage the work. That means we will have to. Yes, we will have more have less opportunity to select the shoots. So it will be, yes, more tricky and much more work, but if you do the work, you can make a pretty good quantity and pretty good wine, even with a big frost like that.
Okay, at least that. Then there was another interesting question from Charlotte. He wants to know what your favorite wine that you make is. And also, do you have any secret favorite wine from your neighbors?
Oh, I have plenty of my favorite wine in my winery. It's very hard. It's like your children; you love them all. So it's hard to say who is your
we won't tell
children,
them.
but there is yes, 2 plots I really like. It's sur le chêne in Marange because it's more like our family patrimony. It's my grandfather and my grandmother who began in buying these plots. So they start. I'm the third generation being winemaker at Domaine Chevrot, and so I still have vine planted by my grandfather only one, but I like this place because yes, it's family. It's and the other place I really love is Le Croix Moine. So Croix Moine is a very small premier cru in Marange, which produce beautiful wine, like this few percent of vine. You don't really know why. but it gives wine with lots of energy, lots of vibration. So and even the worst winemaker making good wine there. So,
so you can make good wine there. There's no other possibility.
Yes.
Good.
There is some places like that, and unfortunately, it's lots of damage in the Croix also. And from my neighbors, recently we did few tasting in the past year, so yes, we didn't have so often opportunities to taste together, but I recently tasted with some some friend. It's Chantrève. So Tomoko, Tomoko Koriyama works few years, many years in Germany. So she knows perfectly Riesling. Have no secrets for her. And now she's doing the same research with the wine of Burgundy with her husband Guillaume, which is an old friend. And I think they are making a very interesting job in both white and red. They are negotiants, but they select the grape for a long time. Now they start maybe more than 12 years ago, so they're starting to be good. And so I was quite impressed I am impressed by their work, and I really love it's modern in terms of approach, but modernity could be good. And also Tomoko with his background in Germany is very interesting too. So this is I would say the wine of Tomoko and Guillaume. Really, I really love them. And last week I tasted. It's also a negotiant, but not only negotiant. They have also wine. Tomoko and Guillaume now just bought some vines, so now there is 5 hectares. So it's not only negotiant.
Okay.
And I tasted with Benjamin Leroux. I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
He used to work at Claude des Epneaux, and he's a winemaker of my generation. We have roughly the same age, and I follow his wine with like you, Ben. You follow mine, and you see the things going on since the beginning. And I think he reached some interesting things also. And so this is the 2 beautiful tasting I made recently.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know so well the wines from Benjamin Leroux, but I know quite well the wines from Chantrève, and I really like them as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So there's always one question coming. I didn't see it yet, but I'll ask it now. How did you two met the first time?
Ben and I.
Yes.
I think it was they came at the Domaine.
Yes. I think at le Grand Jour de Bourgogne.
It was first at Le Grand Jour, and then at the same time you were at Le Grand Jour. Finally, you decided to visit our place.
Yes.
And I think you bought my first vintage. It was 2004. So
That's possible. Yeah.
So you follow our wines in the first one.
Yes.
Sounds
Yes. And speaking of the Domaine, you're running the Domaine with your brother Vincent.
Yes.
And how do you manage both of you? Are you taking the decisions all together, or is someone specialized more in the vineyard, the other one more in the cellar, or how do you make that?
We share, but we for different. I have the final decision for vine growing and vineyards, and I really listen to him. That don't mean I don't listen to him. And that we have lots of discussion and lots of reflection. But if there is something for vinification and vine growing, to really decide, and it's more me, and he's looking more after the aging and bottling, and also management of the people which is very important too.
Yes.
In the company, in the estate, and so more and more, yes, we share a lot of things. We try to be more, yes, to be adaptive and not lost. But we have some specialties, yes.
Yeah.
More and more, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's natural. It's coming naturally.
Yeah. I have the impression too. Yeah. Yeah.
And Björn wants to know more about your brother.
And you for Ben and Kilian.
Sorry?
How do you share?
At the moment, I take care of the drinking, and you take care of building boxes.
Yeah.
He's always Monsieur Bricolage. No, I'm just kidding. So we taste a lot together, and yeah.
Okay.
Visit wineries, but I haven't been to Bourgogne yet, so I think we have.
Are you welcome, Kilian?
Yeah. We had we had the plans to go there, but
yeah, then COVID. So, but Björn has the next question. Can you tell us how the two of you, so I think you and your brother, grew up? Were you close all the time, or was it more like fighting?
Yes, my brother and I were very close. Yes, all our childhood, since like brothers, we fight. One day, it took few years to really refine our relation. But today we are really like in synergy, and we have we know them so much.
Yeah.
So I really love working with my brother. It's the perfect associate. And
that sounds great.
Yes, we have we have some luck to be so close.
Yeah.
And so we have 3 years of difference, so it's not so much. And yes, he has always thought being winemaker.
Okay.
He's very small. I didn't. I didn't.
What did you want to become?
I wanted to become an engineer.
Okay.
I really love mathematics and engineering, but finally, yes, my village and love also. I really love biology and working with livelihood and being outside. Finally, was bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. Pablo, you're doing a lot of work in the vineyard with a horse.
Yes.
Is it your own horse, or do you?
Yes, we have. Unfortunately, this week, so we have 2 horses, Corleone and Valentine. But Corleone leaves the Domaine yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, he was a beautiful and very friendly horse, but he has a problem with his foot and his back, and he's not strong enough to work in the vine. So now he will carry people.
Okay.
And, which is less effort, less you need less strength to to carry like a small car than plowing the soil. So we just bought this week a new horse.
Okay.
So she's a girl. So there will be two girls for the horses. So Valentine, she's Comtois horses, so a horse from Jura.
Yes, very strong.
They are very strong. They are very friendly. They are very worky. They really love work, and they are very nice horses. But they are really little nervous. And they're always not so much. It's okay. But Valentine will be for the hard work.
Yes.
And, so yesterday we signed for a younger horse. So she's called Hôtesse.
Hôtesse.
Yes. And she's 4 years old, and she's Ossois. For also a variety. So it's typical of Côte d'Or. And it's black horse, very beautiful, and she's really trained, and she looks very clever. And so Hôtesse will arrive next week, and we are impatient to start working with her. So now we plow. The objective is to plow so little more than 5 hectares. So all the Premier Cru, a part of the village, and the Aligoté, Tilleul. So I think we will reach it. And Jeremy, our employee, which look after the horse and the plowing, is very motivated, and we follow him because we really see the improving of the quality while we start working with the horse.
So what's the difference?
It makes less compaction than the tractor. The big difference is compaction. So with the tractor, you have always a part of the soil which is too compact, even with small caterpillars. It's the same. So you have a part of the soil which is blocked because of the weight, and the horse is heavy, but is walking more softly, and the plow is behind after you walk. So you open the soil after, which is different from the tractor when you roll on the plowing things. So in Burgundy, because we have tractors which are over the vines, and but the thing is once the soil is very soft and breezy and open, you can't do any more work with tractors. So everything is done by hand. So that's why we're going slowly, because it's much more work after. So all the trailing, so cutting the vine, is very easy to do with tractor. It's not hard to do it with hand, but it's much more work. But at the end, we see that while when we put a new plot in horse plowing, since the first year we see it's improving in terms of
Wow. So it's not just for the photographs or for for publicity. It's really, you really have an effect.
In our domain, until from 2004, while I arrived to 2017, there was we hired some people to plow our wine, our vine. So it was not our horse, but in 2017 we start with our own horse, and if we do that, that means we trust in it. So yes, it's a lot of background, and I really love the horse go with their tools in the vine. I really love the idea of not using carbide for plowing, and also the quality of the work. The vine in Burgundy have been planted in 1 meter wide because of the horse, not because of the tractors. So it's going well.
And can you do other work with the horse than plowing? It's just plowing, or can can they do other things as well?
You can so using a car, and with this horse you can also having they are big, but you can go for a ride.
Yeah. Okay. Just for fun.
Yeah, I think Charlotte and Björn, they will join us when we visit you. Because Charlotte, she loves horses. She's got a horse on her own, but it's a little bit smaller. Charlotte, she also has a horse.
Yes.
It's a little bit smaller than yours probably, but I think they want to join us, or they will probably join us.
Valentine is it's big horse. It's very big.
Yes. I always love when I'm in Burgundy seeing people working with their horses, and I think also for the laborer, it's a very hard work because they're going very fast. And
it could be physical, but after its experience, if you really know how to set your plow and find the best time to do the work compared to the humidity of the soil, it's easier and easier. But so you need some experience because at the beginning you struggle.
Yes, and I really love to see the communication between the person and the horse. This is really fantastic.
Oh yes.
How this works. It's really I was really stunned to see that. Yes. How do you do that?
Valentine, when she arrived, she was not trained at all for working the vine so it was all the winter training with her, training. So after Jeremy, as our employee, has a lot of he spent 2 years out of the Domaine to learn how to speak to the horse.
Wow! So he talks to the horse.
Yes.
Yes.
And to speak, and also to understand what they want to say in terms of moving, with the eyes, with I don't know the name in English. In French, it's en français c'est éthologie, so science du comportement.
Yeah.
He learns a lot of that, and so he's really good. Really good. And Hôtesse, the horse we will have next week, she's already very, very well trained. So even you can say left or right, or go there or go there.
Yes.
It's you have the Jeremy, all the guides on his here. So it's between talking and also give some information to the horse when it's working, but it's very impressive.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's just like talking. Or I thought I've seen somebody whistling as well, but it's all very, very soft, very subtle, and very nice. Okay, so horses.
Well.
Yeah.
My friend. Salut, Dave. He's Dave Fletcher Wine. Dave used to work with us in 2004. And now he's beautiful winemaker in Barolo.
Oh, really?
Australian. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great. Great. Hi, David.
See you in summer, Dave.
Yeah. So you grow also another varietal which is very often really ignored, but I think it's really fantastic, which is the aligoté. Can you talk about the aligoté?
So aligoté is also really variety I really love for different reasons. But in the village of Cheilly-Marange, historically there is plenty of aligoté. That's why we grow 1.7 hectares of aligoté, so it's 10% of our production, which is very good, very, very big.
Yes.
And because aligoté is really beautiful in our village. On this triadic soil, I talked about before. And so aligoté compared to Chardonnay would be a variety with little less alcohol, little more acidity, different kind of aromas. Aligoté doesn't like so much new oak, but it gives a very interesting wine today in the context of global warming, there is few places in Burgundy and not even Burgundy which aligoté today have a second rebirth. Because he has been also planted to make very cheap wines. Because it could be, if you plant it in flat bottomland, it could be really productive.
Yes, but, and really bad.
Yeah, and really bad.
Yeah.
But aligoté, the historical good places were in very poor soils, and if you have the control of the fertility with the poor soil and dry soil, you can make fantastic wine.
Yes.
And so there is some places historically where there is lots of aligoté, also in Côtes de Beaune. So in Ternon-Vergelès, there is also an history with aligoté.
Yeah.
In Moret-Saint-Denis, there is one Premier Cru. In Montluisan, Premier Cru, Domaine Ponceau, which is a beautiful wine also.
Yes.
And
Yes.
also the area of Fissin and Marsanais traditionally grows lots of aligoté, and there is beautiful old vine. So we create this association, Les Alligators, because we wanted to really save this patrimony. And today, so there is roughly little more than 61 makers in this association.
Oh, really?
And yeah. I hope maybe we can do something in Germany.
Yeah, that will be fun. I really love aligoté. I mean, it's really, I mean, it's the most underrated wine from Burgundy.
Definitely.
Oh yes.
And it can be really, really high quality.
He has been underrated because yes, negotiants want cheap bad wines, and also blend with cassis.
Yes.
It was very fashionable in the 60s, 70s, 80s, but now it's not anymore. There is not any. The market is still existing for this kind of aligoté, but our association really focused on quality ones, and so we have a review. Last time it was in 2019 in December, since we didn't do anything, but. I taste all the wines of the different winemakers of the association, and it's crazy the quality. And what is interesting too is because the background historically in Burgundy were not super famous. It authorized winemakers to do to be more free in their decision in winemaking, and so they will not follow a tradition, not follow a style. They will try to do something more personal with the aligotés. If they have less fear to be not in the standard of the Burgundy, and it gives really lively things. Yeah. And I'm really proud of what we built with this association, and today I think it's really a rebirth, and I really feel it in the when I taste with people. There is much more interest in aligoté, and also there is interest because it's good, and so yes, it's a variety very important in the Domaine Chevrot.
Yeah, very good.
Maybe I have one last question.
Yeah.
So Kati, she really loves your crémant. And I would like to know if you have plots that you grow for the crémant, or do you decide year by year which grapes you use for the Cremant?
Yes, there is a, so we made our Cremant with Pinot Noir, and we choose, so we have one main plot for our Cremant, so it's a plot planted with Pinot, but with more a soil convenient for a white wine balance. So there is a good humidity. It's white malt and very also it's facing west. What is the big difference compared to the other exposition? Because with the west facing, you keep more freshness, less alcohol, more acidity, and so we have this plot. But some years, so we just now we just went to 18 vintage. So we just starting 18. So I have here the Cremant Rosé Rose de Vigne.
Yes.
So the 18. So now it's a vintage. All our Cremant will be vintage.
Yes.
And so we have all the information for the dosage, dégorgement. And so we work a lot since 18 in improving the quality. So you will discover it. Our white and red have been released last week. So
okay.
I'm very, very confident with all the work we did. And it's maybe if he knows our Cremant, he will be not lost because it's coming from the same vines. But we work on to improve the quality in terms of pressing, in terms of choosing the date of harvest, time of aging, dosage, and so 18 there will be a gap in terms of quality in our Cremant, because I really love also sparkling and I wanted to work on it, and but it's not finished, and but in 18 and 90 and 20. The year were so hot from the beginning, then we really feel it wouldn't be possible to make sparkling.
Okay.
So there will be we make some vintages, but we choose since the spring when we will produce some or not.
Yes. Yeah.
So because with this vine facing west, with the global warming today we can make fantastic also red wines, for example. But if the level of production we want for Cremant or for red wine are not the same. So we have to decide quite early.
Yes.
What we will do. So, but I think it seems to be a fresh year, and I think we will produce in 2021 some Cremant.
Yeah. Yeah, very good, excellent. Yes, and that's yes. Just to finish, thank you very much, Pablo. And that's it's really true, and I really have to say that, and it's good to listen to that as well when you talk about improving even more the quality of the Cremant. Is that there is a constant evolution ever since I know you, and ever since I know Vincent and the Domaine, and the quality every year, you see an evolution, and it's going up, and that's what really what I love. That's it's a pleasure to see, and it's a pleasure to taste. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you,
really nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. So wow, I learned a lot tonight, and I loved all these things you explained about the soil, and that shows that that this is really, that you're really serious about this, and it's not just not just a word, terroir. So thanks a lot. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Merci, guys.
Bisous, bye bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bisous. Ciao.
Ciao.
So, ja, der Pablo. Ja, wirklich ein sehr passionierter Winzer und das stimmt, ja. Also den Pablo haben wir das erste Mal gesehen, ja, auf dem Grand Tour de Bourgogne, kann sein 2004, keine Ahnung. Und da ist es ja wirklich aufgefallen, so unter den ganz Jungen als wirklich tolles Talent und das hat sich wirklich bewahrheitet. Ähm, Also man sieht es vor allen Dingen, also die Weißen, die waren schon immer ganz stark. Also auch die Aligotés waren außergewöhnlich gut, auch Cremant. Die Roten waren schon am Anfang schon ein bisschen ruppig, ne, ein bisschen hart in den Tanninen und so. Und das haben die exzellent in den Griff gekriegt. Also die sind heute auch auf einem exzellenten Niveau und also mich hat es ja gewundert, wenn der Pablo von dem sagt, es ist ein einfacher Wein. Also wenn alle einfachen Weine so schmecken, finde ich super, ja, einfache Weine zu trinken. Also so einfach finde ich den jetzt nicht. Ne? Ja. Ja, prima. Also, die Roxana sagt
Coupé.
schneiden, Schluss. Das heißt, wir schmeißen euch jetzt raus, sozusagen.
Vielleicht noch kurz eine Sache, den Cremant, den gibt es auch bei uns.
Ja, den Cremant gibt es auch bei uns, genau. Nächste Woche, was machen wir nächste Woche, Kili?
Nächste Woche schreibe ich eine Prüfung.
Da bin ich wieder alleine.
Ja, da bist du alleine.
Ah, ja, gut. Also deswegen
Belargus, auch wieder Frost.
Belargus, genau, ja, Frost, ganz übel Frost, ja. Toller Chenin Blanc mal wieder, eins unserer Lieblingsthemen, wie ihr inzwischen wisst. Ansonsten nicht vergessen, gell? Kaufen, helfen. Und dann sehen wir uns dann hoffentlich nächsten Dienstag oder zwischendurch hier in der schönen Böheimstraße 43.
Genau.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.